Okay, today we're going to be looking at column subtraction. Now, in many ways, this is probably one of the hardest topics actually that is covered in year 3. So we're really going to work hard. We're going to put in lots of effort and focus today just so that we can really get this. I know you've already done lots of work on this anyway. So we'll start by thinking all the time about our place value columns. That's why we always begin each year with looking at place value, because it feeds into pretty much everything else we do. So I'm going to line up my columns. And I can now do 7 ones subtract 4 ones is 3 ones, 6 subtract 5 is 1, or 60 subtract 50 is 10, 5 subtract 1 is 4, 500 subtract 100 is 400. So you have a go at this one. Just think really carefully about how you're lining up your columns, and don't forget to put in that subtraction sign and this bar at the bottom to separate the calculation from its answer. Pause the video, come back when you're ready. Okay, so we've got 473, subtract 261. 3 subtract 1 is 2, 7 subtract 6 is 1, 4 subtract 2 is 2, so we get 212. Now, that's all well and good, but a bit like we saw with addition the other day, the problem comes when we have to do some, we have to go across a tens barrier. So let's have a look at this calculation here. I'm going to line up my columns again. 453 subtract 267. Now the problem we have here is I've got 3 subtract 7 here. I can't just say 7 subtract 3 is 4, because actually if you think about it, I've got this 3 and I'm trying to take away 7. Well, I can't do it. I could if I went into negative numbers. Actually 3 subtract 7 is negative 4. But really, I'm taking 7 away from 453. So I've got to find a way to get some more ones. And the way I do that is I go to the tens column. I'm going to take one of my tens. So now I've got 4 tens. I'm going to regroup it into 10 ones. So I'm taking my 110. Think about your Dean's blocks that you'll have used in class. I'm going to turn them into 10 ones. And I can put those 10 ones over here like this. So I've now got 13 ones. 13 subtract 7 is 6. 4 tens subtract 6 tens. Well, I can't do 4 subtract 6, so I need to get some more tens. So I'm going to go to my hundreds column, take 100, and regroup that 100 into 10 tens. So I've now got 14 tens, 10 and 4, 14 tens. 14 subtract 6 is 8. 300 subtract 200 is 100. So the difference between 453 and 267 is 186. So you're going to have a go at this one. I'm going to start you off just by lining up the columns and just by pointing out that I'm going to need some more ones here. I can't do 2 subtract 8. I've only got 2 ones at the moment. I can't subtract 8, so I need to get some more ones from somewhere. So I'm going to start you off by doing that, but you now pause the video, finish off this calculation, come back once you're done. Okay. So I'm taking 110, so now I've got 3 tens, and I'm turning that 110 into 10 ones over here, regrouping it. So now I've got 12 ones, 10 and 2 is 12, subtract 8 gives me 4. Can't do 3 tens, subtract 5 tens, 3 subtract 5, so I need some more tens. So I'm going to go to my hundreds, take 100, so now I've got 5 hundreds left, and I'm turning that 100 into 10 tens, which I can put over in the tens column here. So I've now got 3 and 10 is 13. 13 subtract 5 is 8. 5 subtract 3 is 2. So I'm left with 284. But the question is, what happens when there's a placeholder like this? What's going to go on here? Well, let's have a look. This is a trickier example now. 7 subtract 8 I can't do. I've got 7 ones. I can't get rid of 8, I've only got 7, so I need to get some more ones. So I'd go to the tens, but the problem is I've got no tens. So I'm going to need to get some more tens. So I need to go to the hundreds column. So I'm going to take my 100, I'm going to turn it into 10 tens. You can see clearly here I've got 10 tens now. Now I can take one of my tens, so now I've got 9 tens, and I can turn it into 10 ones. What I can't do, by the way, is I can't just go from here, take 100, put it over here, because that would be 107 ones. But to turn it into tens, then take 110, turn it into ones. 17 subtract 8 is 9. 9 subtract 4 is 5. 5 subtract 100 is 400. So I'm left with 459. So what goes on here then? It's your turn now. I can't do 2 subtract 8, so I need to regroup. But oh, I've got no tens. So I'm going to have to go to the hundreds column. I'll start you off like that. But what happens now? Off you go. Pause the video. Stop when you're done. Okay, let's have a look. Well, so I've taken one of my hundreds, I've turned it into 10 tens. Now I'm going to take one of my tens. So now I've got 9 tens. And I'm turning it into 10 ones. So now I've got 12 ones. 12 subtract 8 is 4. 9 subtract 7 is 2. 4 subtract 3 is 1. I'm left with a difference of 124. So have a go at the independent task now. Do really think carefully about regrouping. Do I need to regroup? Can I do this straight away? Do I need to regroup? So one of the biggest problems we get with subtraction is people forgetting to regroup and just thinking, oh, I can't do 7 subtract 8, so I'll do 8 subtract 7. Can't do that because I've got my 7 here. I can't take away 8. Doesn't work like that. So we've got to think about our regrouping.